Well, unless you live under a rock somewhere, last week was absolutely something, wasn't it? By the time this video will post, I think many of you, it's my understanding that last week we were on snowmobiles. This next week we're going to have boats. So welcome to Texas. You know, our part of the world is notorious for doing flips in its weather. But I noticed one thing that had a somber spiritual truth last week, and then I'll give you the bottom line, is that many of us were just absolutely shut down in certain aspects of our life. For instance, it doesn't matter what you do to winterize your home, you were absolutely incapacitated, so many of you were, regarding your water. Maybe it was a hot water heater, maybe it was a pipe in the washroom, you know, but you were kind of shut down. And then a lot of folks that drive diesel trucks, any brand, noticed last week they couldn't get the darn things to start. They had jailed. They were shut down. They were completely incapable of doing anything. And you know, I hate to be kind of a prophet of bad news, because I'm not. It's the gospel of Jesus Christ is always good news. But you know, there will come a time in all of our lives, potentially, where we will be shut down. In other words, we will be incapacitated. We will be unable to make a decision regarding eternity. And you know, there's three things that happens and could possibly happen to all of us. Number one is age or time. We have noticed in the church world, and those of you that grew up in church kind of notice this, who makes the majority of the decisions for Jesus? It's usually younger people. If you look at a statistic anywhere, whether it's Barna, whether it's Pew Research, you're going to find that the majority of people that follow Jesus do it younger in life, which says this: the older we get, the harder our hearts get. And I would encourage you today to not let that be your excuse for not coming to follow Jesus. There's a second thing that kind of shuts us down, and that's disability, specifically a mental disability. And folks, I can tell you from a personal experience with a family member, a young family member, who dropped dead literally on an intramural basketball court years ago at Texas A&M University. And I will tell you this, when his breath left him, they were able to bring him back. But you know, for a long time, he was virtually in a coma. And as I stood there beside his bed, I just wondered, will he, if he don't recover, would he ever have the capability to make a spiritual decision? And you just think about all the potential things. Those of us that are in the lifestyle, the Western Heritage lifestyle, we walk by an empty grave every day, so to speak, and especially an empty hospital bed just waiting for us. All the gates that could smack us in the head, all the horses that could fall out from under us. We understand, with all the dangers around us, that there could come a time where we were incapable of making a spiritual decision. So please, if you're in your right mind right now, if Jesus is on your mind and you've not followed him, please follow him. So it's time, it's mental disabilities, but you know, the ultimate shut down in all of our life is death. Scripture tells us very simple. It is appointed unto men, humans, all people, once to die. And after that, the judgment. Saying, whatever happens on the other side of your last breath is determined on this side of your last breath. There's a great scripture. I've read it to you before. The Apostle Paul would tell the Corinthian believers, today is the day of salvation. The bottom line is, please do not wait to follow Jesus Christ. Don't let time, don't let disabilities, and don't let death catch you by surprise and incapacitate your ability to follow Jesus. And that is the bottom line. God bless.